I saw on Twitter or X, whatever it is, who knows these days, and it said, what advice would you give your younger self? And I was just like, that is interesting. And I thought about, you are enough as the best advice for my younger self. There's a bigger story to why, but this is not about me, it's about you. When you are enough, you take intentions, and through those intentions, you make different decisions. And so let's talk about the decisions you want to make, maybe starting a YouTube channel. See, there's no room for overthinking or thinking about like how I look, how do I sound, all these things. You just kind of move in a way where you know you're enough, and that is enough to then create the thing that you desire. So let's discuss the real reason why you're here. And let's talk about that you are more than enough to start taking action on starting a YouTube channel. But maybe you just haven't thought about it in that way. You are already worthy, honey. Let's talk about it. Well, hello there, my love. Welcome to my channel. My name is Justine Jordan, and I teach women just like you how to monetize their passion on YouTube by creating content that attracts millions of people and attract your tribe and inspire the world. And if you're interested in that, I do have a free training that you can be a part of if you're ready to get started. So feel free to click down the link below and be sure to subscribe to my channel. Let us be besties here on the internet. You can impact the world in such a soft, feminine way with your highest creator. And that's what I'm here to encourage you and inspire you to do. So let's discuss why you're here. If you are enough, why haven't you taken action to become that content creator or that YouTuber that flourishes and attracts thousands and millions of people? Why haven't you done it yet? I heard an advice on a podcast, and her name was Jamie C, and she said behaviors are indicators of beliefs. So if you thought you were worthy, maybe you've gotten started, do you honestly feel that when there are no views still, when there's no comments, when there's no subscribers, do you still feel worthy? Because that is a true indication of how you truly feel. So whether you're the woman who hasn't started or the woman who has started and created content but still feels burnt out, both are in alignment of not feeling worthy, because nothing outside of us should ever determine our worth. Just saying. The actions that you take indicate the beliefs that you have. And so sometimes we take action, but we don't believe that we are whatever we're cultivating. So let's say, for instance, you want to be a YouTuber and you want to be that content creator, but you didn't take action to demonstrate that you are one. So then your belief is really that you're not. You don't believe it's possible. You don't believe that it can happen. And for my beautiful content creators who are creating content, how do you feel when no one's watching your channel, no one's commenting, no one's liking, no one's following for weeks, months, and maybe even years on end? See, here's the thing is that even when we're taking the action, if we don't believe that it's possible and we're making it up like as if we need an external validation to prove that we are worthy, you'll still believe you're not worthy, right? Because you need that to make you feel this. And that's not true. You are already worthy whether you take action or not, whether you believe it or not. You are. That's why I'm here. I'm doing God's work to remind you of your power. A person who indicates that they are enough, that they are worthy, they are being able to step into their power, they move different. They do things different. They take action in a different way. There's just something about a person's energy. It's just like, I don't know what it is about you, but I love you. That is when someone feels worthy despite what's in front of them. You have to know that you are already worthy. You don't need people to like you. You don't need people to comment, to like, to subscribe, to watch your videos. Like, you don't need anything of that because you're more than enough. You are here. You're waking up every day. That's the point. And if you truly believe that you are enough, you would take action. You have to be able to trust and surrender as a woman. It's part of our superpower, honey. We are people who become magnetic when we understand our value and our worth. And this goes into anything that you want, whether it's the house, the job, the kids, for people to pour into you. Like, when we understand our own value, things will happen not just from your YouTube channel, but all over throughout your life. When you feel that you are worthy, when you feel like you're enough, you will take action and move differently, because the intention is that I already feel it, whether the world sees it that way or not. Because the only entity that needs to know that I am worthy and that needs to continuously remind you is God himself. And that's it. You and God. That's why how we co-create. We understand a mutual understanding that he believes in me, he sees me as worthy, and that's all the validation that I need. We're getting spiritual. Very, very deep, y'all. Very, very quickly. So if you're enough, start taking action as if it is. Start believing in that. And the only way to start that belief is to then take action from someone who is. So you shouldn't need any validation from any external world around you. No YouTube subscribers, no likes, comments, the man who is sitting here saying you're beautiful, or people saying I love you and validate how beautiful you are. You don't need none of that. When it does come into your world, it's already a check mark to what you already believe within yourself. So when someone gives you a compliment about how beautiful your hair is, your makeup, the way you're dressing, it's because you already believe it to be true. And when you say thank you, I appreciate that, and don't rush to say another compliment back, you are definitely worthy. And it's not a cockiness. It's not someone that is like full of themselves. It's someone who understands the value that they're bringing into the world, because that's how your creator created you. You are made in his image. So then you wake up every day, you are worthy. I'm just here to remind you of that power. So let's co-create together by taking our first sip of our beautiful coffee, and let's get this party started. Cheers to you being here, and I'm excited to get started. Now, another question that might come up when it comes to understanding your worth and that you are more than enough is just that, what if you don't believe you are enough? Now that is some real ish. I definitely want to address that. The number one thing I want to share, and I'm hesitant about even saying it this way because it's very intrusive, but I want you to understand this. You're lying to yourself. And I laugh because I'm like, oh, like some people might feel that sting, but you are. What do you mean you're not enough? Just because you created content for years or weeks, or you didn't even get started, doesn't mean you're not enough. Like, you woke up. You're more than enough. You were made in God's image. I'm going to say that throughout this whole entire video because I need you to understand how powerful you are. This video is meant for the woman who is sleeping on her own power, who is not awake of the value that she offers the world. That's what the intention of this video is. It's not just to remind you that you are enough. It's just like, you have to remember who you truly are. It's not this human flesh. It's the soul within. You are powerful. If this higher power entity created, you don't think you have some type of power on this earth? Stop lying to yourself, honey. By believing you're not enough and not worthy of being heard, you're basically silencing your voice. The voice that's meant to be heard, to be an inspiration and influence others. The voice that is meant to cultivate a community, your tribe specifically, to step into their power as well. And I know you might be thinking like, Justine, I just want to create makeup tutorials, or I just want to do nails on YouTube. Like, it's not that serious. What? Like, it's not that easy. Not everybody can do it. Not everybody can speak in front of a camera like this and be so authentically themselves. And you know what? That's what God gave me, so here I am. You are more than enough. You have survived such harder things in life. You have made it out. You are watching this video. I already know you've been through the mud, been through the darkness, been through the trenches, maybe in childhood or just recently. Like, I don't care when it happened. I know that you've gone through some stuff. I really want to say some shit, but I'm trying to be modest. Maybe I need to be real. You've been through a lot, and you're still watching something like this because you have a yearn and a passion to cultivate something that is beyond you. Something that will give back to the world. Something that will help someone else. You don't even got to focus on millions of people. Focus on one person. Focus on helping one person, because that one person is going to help someone else. And then you know that, and it keeps rippling. Sooner than later, you'll realize how powerful your words, your actions, your intentions, your influence, your inspiration has ripple effects to other people's lives. I can't make this up. In the midst of everything that you didn't know how you were going to get out of, the whole point of that is to allow God to be that light. Allow him to know that he is of essence. He is the only light that can take you out of darkness. And again, I'm not the most biblical person. Like, I'm not going to sit here and spew out Bible verses or from, I'm just not a person who grew up in the church. I am not. Let's call a spade a spade. Like, I am not a person who grew up with a spiritual sense. I didn't know anything about God when I was young. I didn't know anything about having a relationship. In fact, I didn't understand when people in the church used to say have a relationship with. I'm like, I don't get it. I don't even hear this person. Where is he? Because if he was there, why did I have to go through all the things? What if he carried you through those things and that's the reason why you're here today? Right? Like, oh, we gonna make this make sense. I promise. You made it out because he was there. You went through the pain and sought after a desire because he was there. Like, there's that poem Footprints back in the 90s. It's basically talking about a person wishing that God was there when he was walking alone in the sand. But it wasn't your footprints that was in the sand. It was his. He carried you through pain. He carried you to overcome the challenges. I ain't feeling like a preacher right now, but it's so true. Like, we just understand how we co-create. You ask and you shall receive. And if you don't get it in the way that makes sense, I promise you everything in essence will one day. Because what he has plans is beyond your imagination. What he has planned is beyond your scope of sequence when it comes to what reality is right now. Because he knows your worth. He knows you're worthy. You are enough. I'm just his messenger. I get ideas of what to say, and because I know it's not my words, it's his words through me to your ears, because I'm just co-creating with him. That's just how me and him, we do life together. One of the most engaged videos that I created on my TikTok or on YouTube Shorts, but specifically on TikTok, because I started creating short form content before I started creating long form, and was that God gives us things that we cannot handle. And people were so in tune with that, because I saw it from somewhere. Like, this guy was just like, God doesn't give you things you can handle. It's the opposite. He gives you things you cannot handle. And I was just like, oh, what do you mean? What do you mean by that? When you make it out, it is only through his power, through his strength, through his miracles, through his blessings over your life. That is why you made it. So that way, when you get out of the challenges that you're facing, when you are able to then be on the top of the mountain, you can shout out that he did this for you. And that's the reason why I stepped into my higher power when it comes to this video, this channel of co-creating. Because co-creating is not just him doing all the work. It's you too. You gotta take action. You gotta move. I used to be in church and be hearing people like, give God the glory. And I'd be like, huh? But I totally understand that now. It was through his word, through his calling, through his yearning, through everything that I couldn't do. He did. I just created content on YouTube and on my videos. The people, I didn't know how to make content go viral back then. I mean, I know now because I have a lot of knowledge, but I didn't know it back then. But that's how God creates. I didn't know that teaching in the classroom was going to be my last career, to work for someone else. I didn't even want to be an entrepreneur. I didn't care about money. All I cared about was teaching kids. But God has bigger plans, honey. And the longer that you stay stuck in the things you want to control, instead of answering your calling, is when life gets out of control. Somebody quote me, because my life was chaotic back then. And I was just like, all right, I surrender. I give up. I don't know. Where do you want me to go next? When I made that first step on YouTube, it was such a magical time, and I wouldn't change it for the world. You are more than enough. You are enough. And the only reason why I know you're enough is because you were created in God's image. It's in the Bible. I'm sure it's in other documents that I don't know about. I don't know anything, right? I'm just a messenger of what feels good and how I co-create with him in hopes that I help someone else do the same. That's it. He didn't make a mistake of thinking that you asked for a sign and now here it is. That it's just how God works. He takes someone who's stepping in their power, who's stepping into their calling, who has a higher purpose, and brings all of the people that are in alignment for that message, for that talent, for that gift. And then they elevate their communities together and they keep making it bigger and bigger. So every time you step into your power, every time I step into my power, we co-create with our highest creator to cultivate a community of people that continue to do the same. We go back to what was lost. When we felt lost, we go back to our founder. When we create on this earth, we remind people of what he is possible. Again, I'm not a church going person. I got no scriptures to share, but all I know is that what he did in my life. And I thought it was just me for a long time. I was just like, no, it's me. I'm worthy. I'm this. And it's just like, ma'am, without him, you wouldn't have the success that you had. Without him, you wouldn't be able to have faith when your world is crashing before you. Without him, you wouldn't have been able to surrender to knowing that he is the answer. Without him, you wouldn't be here. Let that sink in. See, here's the thing that I think of how we co-create is that we are lost until we are found. But seriously, we don't know what success is like until we don't have it. We don't know the value of peace in our life until we have chaos. And if you thought yourself worthy enough to take a chance on yourself, to believe in yourself, that you are enough, to create content, to share with the world, to be able to inspire and influence other people to step into their own power. Honey, let me tell you right now, like when I was a teacher in the classroom, I was so depressed. I felt so unfulfilled and I thought I was answering the calling by teaching. Oh no, God had bigger plans. He said, teach the world, not the small classroom. That's too small for your light. You have a bigger calling. Other people need your gifts. Jump on. This is where you belong. And this is why I keep coming back on creating content here on YouTube. You are more than enough. Your light is meant to be seen. It's meant to give light and shed light onto other people's darkness. And again, you might be saying, all I want to do is bake cupcakes and teach people how to do it. I'm telling you right now, you know how many times I flopped a cupcake? But then when somebody pours love into what they're doing, it tastes different. When somebody's willing to teach someone else how to do it the way they did it, it tastes different. And now all of a sudden the person who's watching your cupcake videos is now out here baking like a chef. And people are like, you need a bake shop. You need to teach other people how to do it because they stepped into their power and added a little sprinkle on their cupcakes. Or they became the baker now that is access to all these planners in their community. You don't know how far your talents can take someone else until you just take that first step. So starting a channel like on YouTube and creating content that's magnetic, that it's influential, that it is an inspiration to other people should come from a place of you knowing that you are more than enough. There should be no other intention behind it. It should not come out of judgment. It should not be criticized. You are enough. That's it. You are the perfect fit to share your gifts and your passion on YouTube with your content that helps and inspires other people. There are people who do get ready with me vlogging. There are people who do clean with me and makeup tutorials and come with me to a coffee shop, or somebody who works at a 9-to-5 job and they're getting ready at 6 a.m. and they're recording the process. Every intention behind a decision creates a magnetism like no other. You can create miracles and blessings in life. There are people who started this journey and didn't think that they could turn into a full-time career. And now they are because they just wanted to help someone else. If you're an entrepreneur and you have clients who keep making the same mistakes, teach them about that mistake. If you have people who every time they take a picture, there's like whiteness coming around their eyes because they're not using the right highlighter or, I don't even know what it's called, but you know what it is. Show up and share that information. You got people out here who are trying to be a chef and they thinking that Goya products are the right seasoning for their chicken to be the star chef of their family. And you're like, no, you got to use all natural ingredients and throw a little salt to bring out the flavors in the food. Wherever life takes you, just understand like you got talents that nobody else has. And we all have them because that's why we're all here. So if you don't have them, you got to start asking yourself, why do you think you don't? Because you do. There are things that you specialize in that really are special, and that's because you're unique. You're like a fingerprint. No fingerprint is ever made the same. Mission here is different from everyone else, and we can all start a YouTube channel, create content, do similar things like get ready with me, and still all be successful with it because we're all attracting our tribe. Let that sink in. So all in all, you are worthy, you are enough. Please start taking action. And if you are ready to start monetizing your passion, inspiring your world, and co-creating with your highest creator, I have a training down below, and I would love to show you the steps and mistakes that I made in the 6 years of attracting 31,000 subscribers, of attracting 2 million views, getting on Google's first page with multiple videos. I will leave the link down below so that way you can get started and that we can co-create together with our highest creator. Why not? I love you so much. I appreciate you watching this entire video. If you stuck it out this long, be sure to click that subscribe button and let me know down below. Was this valuable? Did you believe that you were enough? Because I hope you did. That is the goal of this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.